Anthropic just accidentally published the entire source code from Claude Code. One GitHub repo hit 50,000 stars in hours. Then they tried to fix it and accidentally took down 8,000 legitimate repositories. Plus, one company shipped AI to 3 million customers and 85% of them came back. And robotaxis in China just trapped passengers on a highway for 2 hours. Let me break down what matters for your business this week. Welcome to AI in Business. I'm James Anderson and this is your weekly AI news roundup. Every week I condense the biggest AI stories into what actually matters for your business. No jargon, no hype, just what you need to know. Let's get into it. First up, and this is a big one, Anthropic accidentally leaked the full source code for Claude Code, their command line AI agent. Here's what happened. On March the 31st, someone at Anthropic published an npm package, and that is a software update, and accidentally included a source map file that pointed to a publicly accessed zip folder on their servers. That zip contained 1900 files of TypeScript source code. Everything. The full architecture, agent loop, multi-agent orchestrations, permission systems, cost optimization, safety prompts, 44 unreleased feature flags, hidden model codenames, and employee-only quality checks. A security researcher spotted it within hours and shared the download link. How nice of him. One GitHub repository hit 50,000 stars and 41,500 forks in a matter of hours. That's the fastest ever on GitHub. Then it got worse. Anthropic filed a DMCA takedown notice to remove the code, but they accidentally targeted 8,100 GitHub repositories, including legitimate forks of their own public Claude Code repo. Users reported being locked out of their own unrelated code. Anthropic called it human error in their release packaging and retracted most of the notices. So here is what you want to take away from this. No customer data was exposed. Claude still works fine, but this is a reminder that AI tools you rely on are built by humans and humans can make mistakes. For your business, if you're using any third-party AI tool, ask your vendor what happens when things go wrong. What is their incident response? How do they handle security? If they cannot give you a clear answer, that should concern you. And if you are a developer, the leaked code is now permanently in the wild. People have already written clean room rewrites to avoid copyright issues. And that means the blueprint for how a production-grade AI agent works is now public knowledge. Intuit's AI agents hit 85% repeat usage. Now this one is exactly the kind of AI story I love to see. Intuit, the company behind QuickBooks and TurboTax, shipped AI agents to 3 million customers and 85% of them came back. Let me say that again. 85% repeat usage. That is massive for any software product, let alone something as new as AI agents. Here is the key insight from their EVP, Mariana Tessel. The secret was keeping humans involved, not less. All AI agent actions appear in what they call a business feed, where users can review, approve, or flag issues before anything else takes effect. The AI does the work, but you stay in control. The agents handle bank feed reconciliation, VAT compliance transactions, categorizations, customer management, and all that repetitive accounting work that eats up your time. These results speak for themselves. Up to 12 hours saved per business every single month. 78% of customers say it makes it easier to take effective action. And 80% of UK SMB leaders believe that AI could help them delegate more effectively while maintaining oversight. So here is why this matters for your business. Most business owners are hesitant about AI because they fear costly mistakes or losing control. Intuit addressed that directly. You get the time savings without the anxiety. This is not set it and forget it. It is delete with confidence. The 85% repeat rate proves that when AI stays in its lane and humans stay in theirs, the model actually works. And that is the approach we advocate in this channel. Also, although we're not a huge fan of large SaaS models from corporations, when you're talking about things like accounting, it's best to stick with the experts on this because all your sensitive financial data is on there. So accounting software is still going to be there and still prevalent. So having an AI integration into this, we believe, is great. Baidu robotaxis trap passengers on highway. Now this one is a bit of a wake-up call. Baidu's Apollo Gold robotaxi service in Wuhan, China, suffered a widespread system failure on April the 1st. At least 100 vehicles suddenly stopped, including in dangerous spots like fast lanes of the highways. What an ideal place to stop. Passengers were trapped inside for up to 2 hours. Some doors could be opened, but heavy traffic prevented safe exits. Police had to intervene following vehicles which had actually collided with the stalled robo-taxis. One passenger reported a 30-minute wait just to receive customer support. Not ideal. Local police called it system failure affecting operations citywide. Baidu has not disclosed the cause. But this isn't isolated. Last week, I covered Waymo robo-taxis needing firefighters to move them during emergencies. A widespread power outage in California wiped out the traffic lights, causing Waymo vehicles to become stuck. And now this. The lesson remains the same. There is meaningful difference between AI that works in normal conditions and AI that works in all conditions. And for your business, if you're using anything autonomous, do not assume it works perfectly. Always keep humans in the loop. Always keep checking it. So the next article is interesting. A new Quinnipiac University poll found that 15% of Americans would be willing to have a job where their direct supervisor was an AI program that assigns tasks and sets schedules. Now, that sounds like a small number, but the flip side is more telling. 85% said they're not ready to report to an AI manager. 70% think AI advancements will cut job opportunities, up from 56% last year. And here is the interesting tension. 73% of Americans have actually used AI tools, but only 21% trust AI generation information most of the time. More people are using it, but fewer actually trust it. Companies like Amazon and Workday are already using AI for task assignment and scheduling. Amazon has deployed new AI workflows that have replaced some middle management responsibilities, and they've laid off thousands of managers in the process. For your business, the takeaway is straightforward. If you're rolling out AI tools for your team, do not assume they will be enthusiastic about it. Transparency matters. Show them what the AI is doing and why. Keep humans in the decision-making loop. The businesses that get this right will have a significant advantage. The ones that force it without trust will face resistance. Shadow AI. Your employees are using AI without you knowing. The next story ties directly into a trust issue. Your employees are almost certainly using AI at work right now. ChatGPT, Claude, whatever else. They are using it without your approval or oversight. And this is called shadow AI, and it's becoming a real governance problem. A startup called Kilo just launched KiloClaw for organizations. Instead of employees using their own personal AI accounts with their own credentials, this lets companies give employee agents while keeping IT in control. You get visibility into which tools your team uses and which tasks they handle. Agents run in controlled environments. When someone leaves, their access disappears automatically. One invoice, full visibility over costs, over 25,000 people are already using it. So here's the thing. If you've got 10 or more employees, you probably have this problem right now. Employees pasting sensitive business data into public AI tools, no audit trail, no visibility. For businesses with 20 or more employees and sensitive data, solutions like this are definitely worth keeping an eye on. For smaller teams, it's probably overkill for now, but the problem is only going to grow. And this is what we teach on our channel. I think this software solution is a really, really great idea, and I'm definitely going to do some study on it this week and see how effective it is, and I'll probably try and do a video, some sort of review video on it. But the alternative to this is actually just building your own offline tools, which is something that we really advocate on the channel, and I actually believe this is the future for small businesses, where you have the whole hardware, you have all the local systems and all your customer details and IP all on your server and offline, and you're not posting things through to frontier models like OpenAI and Claude. Quick hits. Q1 startup funding hit $297 billion, shattering all records. That is 2.5 times the previous quarter. But here is the reality. 63% of that came from just 4 mega deals. OpenAI raised $122 billion, Anthropic raised $30 billion, xAI raised $20 billion, Waymo raised $16 billion. Strip those out and the market looks more normal. The headline number is impressive, but the concentration of capital in a few massive players is the real story. For your business, this means the tools you are using are being built with unprecedented investment behind them, but also with enormous pressure to deliver. Meta is building a massive new AI data center in Louisiana called Hyperion. Great name. It will draw as much electricity as the entire state of South Dakota. They are funding 10 natural gas power plants to support it. Those plants will emit 12.4 million metric tons of CO2 every year. That is 50% more than Meta's total carbon footprint in 2024. If you care about the environmental impact of your AI usage, it's worth thinking about where your data is going and who is powering it. Salesforce just announced 30 new AI features for Slack. Slackbot can now draft emails, schedule meetings, sift through your inbox, create reusable AI skills from recurring tasks, and operate outside of Slack to monitor your desktop. It can connect to 2,600 apps. If you're already paying for Slack, this is essentially free to add. Not a bad starter place if you want to experiment AI at work. Just be aware that it can now monitor your desktop activities, so check your privacy settings. And again, you need to make sure that you're in control of these things, because at the minute there's all these new tools which are coming out, which are asking to connect to your desktop, and to be honest, it scares me a little bit. I just think the level of access is now becoming quite unprecedented. So remember, when you grant access to your information and your stuff on your laptop, everything is basically going to the cloud. All right, so be super careful before you give any access. If you're in a company, no problem, as long as your IT and your business approves it, but be super careful. Hollywood is still on the AI hype train. Wire reported on the Runway AI Summit, held just a week after Sora's death, where AI was compared to fire and the printing press. Star Wars producer Kathleen Kennedy was one of the few skeptics in the room. The honest take is that AI for creative content is still firmly in the hype stage. Useful for rough drafts and mock-ups, but not ready for production work. If you use AI for business content, test it for simple tasks and always human review the output. I've been playing about with the video content, and I'm not a videographer, but I've been trying to create some simple things for some of our social channels. And to be honest, it is a bit clunky. To get something that looks kind of professional and polished, you're not there yet. You can get 50, 60, 70% there yet, but I will caveat that. I reckon in a couple of years' time, you'll be able to generate pretty much whatever you want video-wise from AI. One to watch this week. While Baidu robotaxis were trapping passengers in Wuhan, Uber and WeRide launched fully driverless robotaxis in Dubai. Up to 100 level 4 autonomous vehicles integrated into the Uber app. No human safety officer in the car. Dubai's RTA wants 25% of all mobility trips autonomous by 2030. Why Dubai is interesting is the controlled environment. Fewer pedestrians, more predictable traffic, clear regulations. It is very different testing ground to Wuhan or San Francisco. For businesses in logistics or transport, this signals that driverless technology is maturing. But the gap between controlled conditions and real-world chaos, as Baidu just proved, is still significant. Worth watching. So the Distilled takeaway this week, even the companies building AI make mistakes. Anthropic leaked their own source code. Baidu's robotaxis failed on the highway, but Intuit proved that when you keep humans in the loop, 85% of users keep coming back. The pattern is the same every week. AI works when humans stay in control, and that is the formula for your business. If that was useful, please subscribe because I break down the latest AI news every week. I'm also building an A to Z Academy series that goes deeper into the specific AI topics that matter for your business. Check the playlist for the latest lessons. No hype, no jargon, just what you need to know. See you next week.